For the very first time, the woman charged with killing her police officer boyfriend during a snowstorm back in 2022 spoke with reporters. Karen Reed says the case is one big cover-up. WBZ's Laura Haefeli is live for us in Dedham tonight. Laura, Reed and her lawyers, they're trying to get some evidence which they believe will clear her name.
That's exactly what they're trying to do, but unfortunately, that's not going to happen tomorrow. The court ruled that they will not have an evidentiary hearing tomorrow, which means we won't be hearing from two key witnesses, and the future of these court proceedings, at least in part, will happen behind closed doors. But as you mentioned, we did hear from someone today, Karen Reed herself, on the steps of Superior Court. For the first time since being accused of hitting and killing Boston police officer John O'Keefe, Karen Reed spoke outside of Norfolk Superior Court, defending herself and demanding justice for John.
Said it feels we're the only ones fighting for the truth of what happened to John O'Keefe.
Surrounded by attorneys on the steps of the Dedham courthouse, Reed claims the night of John's death, she was trying to keep him alive.
I tried to save his life at 6 in the morning. I was covered in his blood. I was the only one trying to save his life.
Reed charged with second-degree murder and motor vehicle manslaughter for allegedly hitting O'Keefe with her SUV outside of a house in Canton. Now her defense team is working to prove she wasn't involved.
The Commonwealth is desperate not to get the facts out in front of the public.
In an effort to exonerate Reed, attorney Alan Jackson subpoenaed two witnesses, Brian Albert, who owned the home where O'Keefe died, and his sister-in-law, Jennifer McCabe, and their phone records, claiming calls and Google searches proved their involvement and that Reed was innocent.
How long to die in cold? A search conducted by Jennifer McCabe some 3.5 hours before John O'Keefe was found dying in the cold in front of Brian Albert's house.
Attorneys for the witnesses and the prosecution requested the subpoena be denied, and it was.
They're desperate not to have witnesses testify. They're desperate not to have witnesses have to answer questions. It's relevant. It's material evidence that we need, that Karen Reed is entitled to.
Frustrating Reed's attorneys, who claim the suspect is being set up.
At some point, you start asking yourself, is it incompetence? And then at some point, it becomes complicity.
Now, the next hearing is set for July 25th. We did try to speak to the attorneys for Brian Albert and Jennifer McCabe, as well as the prosecution. They did not want to comment. In Dedham, Laura Haefeli, WBZ News.
Laura, thank you. Now